Imagine you wake up and your hand is on fire, burning, throbbing, clenched into a fist you can't open. Except the hand isn't there. It was amputated months ago, and yet the pain is completely real. Between 50 and 80% of amputees feel this. Not grief, not imagination. A real, measurable, neurological event firing inside the brain. It's called phantom limb syndrome, and it has been baffling doctors for over 400 years. But the answer scientists have found isn't just strange. It rewrites everything you thought you knew about how your brain builds the experience of having a body. Your brain decided where your body ends, and it can get that very, very wrong. The first recorded description of phantom limb pain comes from a French military surgeon named Ambroise Paré. Writing in the 1500s, he described soldiers who complained of pain in limbs they had already lost on the battlefield. He had no explanation. For the next 300 years, neither did anyone else. The term phantom limb itself was coined in 1871 by a Civil War surgeon named Silas Weir Mitchell. He treated thousands of amputees and noticed that nearly all of them still felt their missing limb. Not just pain, but pressure, temperature, and movement. At the time, most doctors called it hysteria. They were wrong. Today, we know phantom sensations are nearly universal after amputation. Studies put the figure between 80 and 90% of amputees. And it isn't only arms and legs. Phantoms have been reported after the removal of eyes, teeth, breasts, and internal organs. Even people born without a limb, congenitally absent from birth, sometimes report phantom sensations of that limb. Think about what that means. The body never existed, but the brain insists it does. That's not a trick of memory. That's the brain running a program it was born with. And to understand why, you need to meet one of the most important maps in neuroscience, a map of your entire body, drawn right across the surface of your brain. In 1937, a neurosurgeon named Wilder Penfield was operating on conscious patients with electrodes touching different parts of the brain's outer surface. Every time he stimulated a new spot, the patient felt a tingling in a specific, predictable body part. Touch this spot. Feel your thumb. Touch that spot. Feel your knee. Penfield mapped the whole body, piece by piece, right across the top of the brain. This is called the somatosensory cortex, the touch and body sense strip, the brain's official body map. Every square centimeter of your skin has a dedicated address on this map. Now here is the critical thing. This map is not fixed. It is plastic, meaning it rewires itself based on experience. When a limb is amputated, the signals from that limb's territory on the map stop arriving. The hand area of the cortex goes quiet, but the surrounding regions, face, forearm, shoulder, are still firing. And here is where it goes wrong. The neighboring regions begin to creep into the silent territory. The face area expands. The forearm area expands. This process is called cortical remapping, the brain redrawing its own map after losing input. But the old map isn't fully erased. Traces of the hand territory remain. So when the face area fires, say, someone brushes your cheek, the signal spills into the old hand territory, and the brain reads that as sensation in the missing hand. The brain doesn't know the hand is gone. It just knows the hand region fired. So it reports hand sensation. And because the motor cortex, the movement command strip, is also remapping, the brain sometimes sends movement commands to the missing hand. The hand tries to respond. It can't. The signals fire, but find nothing to move. That feedback loop, command sent, no response received, is one leading theory for why phantom pain is so intense. The brain escalates. It sends a stronger signal. Still nothing. The brain interprets that as an extreme threat and registers it as severe pain. Pain in a limb. That isn't there. Now here is the part that changes everything. In the 1990s, a neuroscientist named V.S. Ramachandran had a radical idea. If phantom pain comes from the brain not receiving feedback from the limb, what if you could trick the brain into thinking it was getting feedback? His solution was a cardboard box and a mirror. A cardboard box and a mirror. The patient would put their intact arm on one side of the mirror and position their stump on the other side. When the patient looked into the mirror, they saw a reflection of their intact arm, appearing exactly where the missing limb would have been. Ramachandran asked the patient to move both arms at the same time. The intact arm moved. The mirror showed both arms moving, and something extraordinary happened. The phantom pain decreased. For some patients, it stopped completely. The brain, fed visual evidence of the missing limb moving, resolved the feedback loop. The command was sent. A response, even a fake one, arrived, and the brain stood down. Mirror therapy is now used in hospitals across the world, not just for phantom limb pain, but for stroke rehabilitation and complex pain disorders. A cardboard box, a mirror, decades of pain erased. But here's the deeper thing phantom limbs reveal. Your experience of having a body, right now, in this moment, is not coming from your body. It is coming from your brain's model of your body. The brain builds a constant internal simulation, a body schema, meaning a running guess of where every part of you is and what it's doing. Your body feeds that simulation with signals every second. But the simulation runs even without the signals. That is why a phantom limb feels so undeniably, horrifyingly real. It is real, inside the simulation. That is your experience of being alive. So the next time you move your hand, right now if you want, go ahead and wiggle your fingers. Understand what that feeling actually is. It is not raw data from your fingers. It is a story your brain is telling itself, cross-checked with incoming signals and updated every fraction of a second. When those signals stop, the story doesn't stop. It just keeps running, on its own, for its own reasons, filling in the gaps with whatever the map used to say. Phantom limb syndrome is not a malfunction. It is the brain's core feature working exactly as designed, just running on a map that reality no longer matches. Every sensation you have ever felt, every itch, every ache, every warmth of sunlight on your skin, all of it has always been the brain's best guess, not the body reporting in. The body is not the author of your experience. The brain is. And it was writing the story of your body long before your body was finished. It has never stopped, and it never will.